savage. We finna rule this planet. We ain't gonna keep God laws, and we keepin' them with gladness. Y'all walk around with sadness. Ready for the war, we standing. We hit the street, they panic. Strip coming out, they vanish. You will never ever say to me black or Hispanic, cause my nationality.
It's people on this earth, direct enemies to the Most High God above, Christ, His Son, the Black Messiah, and the children of Israel. The Bible deals with it, and that's what we're trying to bring out to you. And guess what else the Bible does? The Bible brings solutions to the issues and the problems that are plaguing our community.
We're not rising up with knives or gangs. We're not rising up with that. We're rising up with the word of God. Read.
He created us in His image, and He gave us the whole world. You ever seen the movie Scarface? Guess what? The whole world is yours, and everything in it.
Thing that was brought out to you? Okay, sis, I got a question for you. What's your nationality? Your nationality, a group of people that you belong to, right?
Oh, I'm non-denominational.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's not a nationality.
Oh.
So a nationality is I'm from the tribe of Judah. He's from the tribe of Judah. We're not African Americans. They call us African Americans. You understand? So when you go to fill out a job application, that's what they ask you. Your ethnicity. You're black, Hispanic, or white, or they say other, right? That's not a nationality. That's a color. You understand that? So what we out here doing is teaching nationality and who we are according to the Bible, right? So let me show you something real quick, right? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. Here's the question I got for you. Why did our people have to go through this? Why did that happen?
I guess to show how the world changed.
How the world changed? No, because remember, the officer was bringing out to you that we are the Israelites, and repentance belongs to Israel, right? So give me Psalms 147 and verse 19. I want to show you something real quick, okay? Because the laws and commandments were only given to one group of people. That's these 12 tribes. Right? It was only given to us. You understand that? So repentance would only be given to these people who were under the laws of God. You understand that? Watch this. Read.
Psalms 147 verse 19.
Bring it up.
He showed His word unto Jacob.
It says He showed His word unto Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? His name was changed to Israel. Watch this. Read.
His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation.
So guess what? He has not done this with any nation. When He gave us the laws and commandments, He didn't do this for any other nation. Only us, the blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? But remember, I asked you, why did this take place? And the one thing that we don't understand is that the love of God is conditional. You ever heard love is unconditional? Right? That's not thus saith the Lord. You understand that? Give me 1 John 5 and 3. I'm going to show you something. Because God's love is conditional, right? Watch this. Read.
1 John 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments.
This is the love of God, that we keep His commandments. You understand that, sis? So, give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. I want to show you something, sis. This happened to our people, correct? You know anything about slavery? The history of our people?
Yeah.
And what happened, right? Okay, so this is real. This actually happened. They made sure that they put chains on our necks, things of that nature. They packed us in cargo slave ships. Is that in the Bible? You don't think so? I'm about to show you something, sis. Read Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. This is why we went into slavery to begin with. Read. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Wait a minute. Go to Deuteronomy 28, start at verse 1. Because it says if. When there's a stipulation there, right? Now I want to show you something. Watch this. Read.
Verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all His commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
So I wanted to point that part out, sis. If we kept the laws of God, did what God commanded us to do, that he would put us above all nations,
Right.
not equal to, all right? Because a lot of our people like to fight for equality. God said we're above them.
That's
when
right.
you look at America today, who built America from the ground up?
Right.
It was us. We did this. They didn't know how to plant crops. They didn't know how to do the cotton. None of that stuff. They had us do that. We taught them so much that they didn't even know how to wash their own bodies. We taught them what soap was. Before then, they still was wearing their underwear until it fall off their bodies.
Right.
To us, that was disgusting. We made sure that we bathed. You understand that? So according to the Bible, it says if we do what God commands us to do, that he would put us above all nations. When you look at the conditions of our people today, are we above all nations?
Right.
No, right? So what happened? Deuteronomy 28:15. Watch this. This is what happened. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken.
So wait a minute. This is a difference between verse 1 and verse 15. It says if you choose not to listen, read.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do.
So it says to observe. To observe means pay close attention to the details. The only way you can pay close attention to the details is you have to open this Bible and read it. You understand that? All right, watch this. Read.
To do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now wait a minute, because in verse 1 it says, we'll be above all nations. But in verse 15 it says, if we choose not to do what God commands us to do, that we'll be cursed. You understand? Watch the curse. Read on.
Verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Sis, where are our people located in the city? We at the bottom, right? We in the slums, we in the projects, we on Section 8, we on public housing, we in the budget inn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why our people got to sleep at the bank. That's abandoned because they don't have no place to go. We cursed in the city. So much so that when you walking down the street, the cop can stop you. Why? Because apparently you look like everybody else.
Right.
You look like somebody that just committed a crime, right? In your own neighborhoods. You think they police the neighborhoods of their own?
Get up.
They not in the rich communities policing those communities. They in the cities. They hunting us down.
Right.
And they setting up traps for our people. It's a trap. You understand that? Because who put drugs in our community? Was it us? We sell the drugs to our own people, but we didn't bring it into the community. They brought the drugs and the guns in the community.
Right.
And now they lock you up for it.
Right.
You understand that, sis? Because you got to think about it. We couldn't get a gun unless they say so. Matter of fact, here's more proof. We couldn't even pick up a book and read without their say so.
Right.
You understand that, sis? Give me Isaiah 51:20. I want to show you something. I'm going to show you that these curses are real on our life, right? So it says, cursed in the city. Watch this, read.
Isaiah chapter 51, verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
They lie at the heads of the streets. So when you go into the neighborhoods, right, where everybody at? They on the block.
Right.
They on the corner. They slanging. They selling drugs, right?
Right.
They selling the drugs that was given to them by their own princes. But watch this. Read.
As a wild bull in the net.
Meaning they're angry. They're pissed off, sis. Read.
They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God.
The rebuke of thy God. Because they choose not to do what God commanded them to do, guess where they at? They at the bottom. You understand that, sis? What's the one where, give me Isaiah 42. Yes, get that. 42:22. Watch this, sis. Because I said that it's a trap, right? They gave us the drugs, and now we sell it into our people, right?
Right.
That's what happened in the 60s and the 80s, right? They had that crack epidemic, right? They brought that to us. You understand? But now watch what they did. Read.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed, and spoiled.
Wait a minute. It says that you are robbed and spoiled. So we were robbed of our riches. We were robbed of our nationality. We were robbed of our place that where we lived. Everything was taken away from us. But it says now that we're spoiled. They took everything from us and now they give you WIC.
Right.
Section 8.
Right.
EBT.
Right.
When really the whole world belongs to us. They stole it. And that's now how they spoil us. By giving us what? Stimulus checks?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You understand that, right? Read on. This is the King James Version, 1611. This is the same Bible that the officer was reading out of. The same book. You understand that? Because this isn't taught in the churches, sis. You ever gone to church before? Right? You ain't never heard some of the stuff that's being brought out, right?
Right.
It's because they're not teaching you thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
They're teaching you a prosperity, feel-good doctrine. That's what they're doing. And then they refuse to teach you that you're in the conditions you're in because you broke God's laws and commandments.
Right.
So they're not teaching you how to get out of the conditions that you're in. For example, even in the churches today, you got our people, right? They're not taking care of their sons. They're not taking care of their daughters. None of those things. You understand that? All right, read.
They are all of them snared in holes.
It's a trap. They're snared and in holes, sis. But watch this. Read.
And they are hid in prison houses.
They're hid in prison houses. So remember, they dropped the drugs in our communities in the 60s and 80s.
Right.
And now they lock them up for selling the drugs to their own people.
Right.
And they lock them up, sis. You understand that? So we got brothers and sisters that are in prison for something they set us up for.
That's right.
Matter of fact, here's another setup, right? They just legalized marijuana, right?
Right.
A couple of years ago, they legalized marijuana, right? Do you know how many people sitting in prison right now for marijuana?
I guess in certain states.
In certain states, it's legal, right? But eventually, it's going to be legal everywhere because now they can put taxes on it.
Right.
They can make money off of it, right? But when we were in our community selling it, right? They didn't. They made sure they locked you up for that.
Right.
That's a trap.
Right.
You understand that? But we shouldn't be selling drugs to our people anyway.
See?
We should be keeping the laws of God.
Right.
And if we were doing that, we wouldn't be in the conditions that we're in. They
That's
wouldn't be
right.
able to come in and do what they did to us. Judith 5:20.
Yes, sir.
They wouldn't be able to come in and do what they did to us if we kept God's laws and commandments.
Oh.
You understand that? That's why we're in the conditions that we're in, because we chose to follow after the other nations. You understand that? We chose to live like this. But watch this. Read.
Judah, chapter 5, verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people.
So it says, if there be any error in this people, it's talking about the children of Israel. Read.
And they sin against their God.
So the other nations knew that if we sinned against our God, read.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Now we can get them caught up. Now we can trap them because they're in the midst of sin against their God.
Right.
But watch this. Read.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
That's how we in the conditions that we in, because we chose not to do what God commanded us to do, and it put us in a position to where now they can overtake us. All right? Read.
Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity.
So iniquity is sin.
Right.
If there be no iniquity in this people, you understand? No sin. Read.
In their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them.
Guess what? That's the reason why we're still in the conditions, because we refuse to do what God commands us to do. The
Right.
other nations knew that.
Right.
Get that in Psalms 83. The other nations knew that. So as long as they can keep us in the midst of sin, keep us from keeping the laws of God, we're going to always remain at the bottom.
What we gotta do to get
Out of the conditions that we're in, it's time that we repent
Right.
and keep the laws of God. I'm going to give you a law. Do you love God? You sure? Deuteronomy 22:5. Let's see how much you love God, because you're going to have to keep these laws and commandments. God's laws is not done away with. And it's not hard. It's very easy. And I'm going to show you that. Watch this. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5.
Bring it out.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Okay. Real quick, you understand what that just said? Okay, so I'm gonna start at the last part. Medea, right? You ever seen Medea? and he's a man and he puts on a woman garment, right? A lot of our people think that's funny, but according to the Most High God, that is not funny.
That's right.
You understand that? We shouldn't find that funny.
Right.
So what does a woman wear that pertaineth to a man?
Right.
What is something that me and you have on right now? Pants. Right? Since you got a zipper in the front of your pants, what is that for? Exactly.
Right.
Proving what? That you have on a garment that belongs to a man.
Right.
The other nations knew that. That's why during the time of Amelia Bloomer, they said, hey, we're equal to the men. They start putting on pants, and our women started joining right along with that. You understand that? But that's not what the Israelite women did. Hold on, look at this, sis. Look at these images.
They were dresses.
They were in dresses, exactly. Our people were still wearing dresses during this time.
Right.
So we can't now sit here and go, oh, you know what? It's uncomfortable. You think it was comfortable for our sisters to be out there picking cotton day in and day out? That wasn't comfortable, but they still had on a dress. They were still in modest apparel. You got that? Get that. Modest apparel. That's what God gave you. God gave you a modest look. He wanted you to be beautiful, not to look like a man. There's a judgment that's going to come behind that. You understand that? Read.
1 Timothy.
Hey, hold on, sis. Sis, we're going over modest apparel. The modest apparel that God gave us for our sisters to wear. Read.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
Modest apparel is not walking around looking like Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Showing all of your body parts, right? Here's the problem in the black community today, right? A lot of times when a brother walks up to you and he says provocative things to you, hey, what's happening, little mama, this, that, and the third, he starts spitting game to you, then you piss him off. What does he call you? An itch, right? Or this, that, and the third, right? But you actually leave your house dressed in a provocative manner to attract those type of men. Because the way you dress attract those type of men. You understand that? So when you dress with your butt hanging out, your breast showing,
they call it sexy.
Sexy, yes. Sexy look, right? Sexy look, right? Guess what kind of men you're going to attract? You're going to attract a whoremonger. He just wants to sleep with you. You're not going to attract a man that wants to marry you. Because that's what's wrong with our people today. I want somebody to love me for me, and me being smart, my mind, this, that, and the third, but I dress like Nicki Minaj. I dress like Cardi B. They're not going to love you for that. They are after you. Why? They see that big butt and a smile. Ooh, she look good. That's the only thing they see. Read that again, that modest apparel. Read. This is what the Most High set a dress code in order to protect you, sisters. You understand that? Watch this. Read.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array.
Hold on, wait a minute, because we just read about your video vixens today. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. How do they dress? Very provocative, right? And that the way they dress influence our children to dress like that as well.
But I think we got to get to a point where it's spread around, worldwide,
That's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing now, sis. We have Israelite men teaching our people in every city, all over the world, sis. We in Barbados, we in Mexico, we in Atlanta, Georgia. We all over the place, sis. And Africa, Germany, we everywhere. China, sis. We teaching our people. No, ma'am. Absolutely not. You see this right here, sis? Look at this. Matter of fact, no. Right here. These are Muslims that brought you into slavery. We are not Muslims. You know when we became Muslims? We became Muslims when they took us in chains.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.